Hello and welcome to the history of Fallout New Vegas. On today's episode, we'll be covering the Great Khans. And here we go. The Great Khans are a raider tribe encountered in the Mojave Wastelands in 2281, abandoning New California. Despite the destruction of the New Khans at the hands of the Chosen One, the tribe's history did not end with Darion's death, though these mercenary war bands was the governing band. It was not the only one. Over the next few decades, the fragmented Khans gradually coalesced back into a single group. No longer small raiding bands, this time the newly renamed Great Khans became a unified tribe once more under the leadership of Papa Khan, who led an exodus into the Mojave Wastelands, abandoning New California in 2267. Upon arrival in Nevada, a vanguard of the followers of the apocalypse, already present in the Mojave, reached out to the Khans and taught them basic science skills such as chemistry, reading, and writing. They hoped that the Khans would use that knowledge to manufacture medicine to sustain themselves. But instead, the tribe turned this knowledge into a profitable racket in drug running. Drugs were nothing new for the Khans, as they already knew how to use plants and herbs to create mind-altering substances. The followers just made them more efficient and indirectly contributed to the popularity of the substance abuse among the Khans. Still, some of the chems they produced go towards trading with others, namely the Fiends and the West Side Addicts, for supplies that the tribes need. With their martial prowess, governing skills, and the know-how provided by the followers, the Great Khans were the single most organized tribe in the wasteland and effectively its rulers. However, their hegemony would not last long. When Robert House detected NCR scouts at the dam in 2274, he moved to claim New Vegas and end the tribal conflicts, and establish his rule. He offered the tribes their own casinos to operate under his alliance. He gave tribes that declared loyalty to him weapons, ammunition, medicine, and other necessities, thus creating the three families. The families, the Omertas in particular, warred with the Khans. Outnumbered and outgunned, the Khans were ultimately defeated. First driven back into northern Vegas, then out of Vegas entirely, forcing them to settle at Bitter Springs, clash with the Republic. When the New California Republic arrived in the Mojave, the Khans continued the tradition of raiding caravans, towns, and camps, still considering them easy pickings in the days of the New Khans, doing so for years. Things changed in 2278 after the First Battle of Hoover Dam and the defeat of the Legion and the Brotherhood. The NCR stood virtually unstoppable. The Khans' raids continued on, but it was the abduction and the killing of 4 soldiers, affecting settlers with large connections in the Republic, that caused the NCR to retaliate. In what would become known as the Bitter Spring Massacre, the NCR mounted an assault on the Khans' home base of Bitter Springs. When the main force was spotted, the Khans evacuated their children, elderly, and infirmed through their only escape, Red Pass. NCR 1st Recon was stationed at the end of the canyon and killed all the fleeing innocents. Those Great Khans who survived Bitter Springs were permitted by NCR military authorities to resettle at Red Rock Canyon without interference. In an effort to create a source of income, the Khans established a drug lab in the Desolate Gorge. By 2281, drug manufactured in this lab formed the basis of their economy, providing much-needed basic living necessities unavailable in the inhospitable canyon, where there is no food, barely any water, and nothing of note. However, their drug business had destroyed what goodwill they had among others like the followers, as the drugs made their way to dozens of villages west of Vegas. Thanks to their knowledge of the land, making it easy to deliver and escape the NCR interference. The NCR was unwilling to deal with the problem directly, as an assault on Red Rock Canyon would be expensive in terms of both caps and men. Remnants of the Khan's presence who remained outside the canyon waged a desperate guerrilla war against the Republic, further straining their supplies. Second Battle of Hoover Dam. Easy access to narcotics had also led many great Khans becoming addicts, trying to cope with the trauma of Bitter Springs through alcohol and hard drugs. Red Rock Canyon, already desolate before their arrival, became a little more than a drug den filled with the stench of alcohol and drug fumes, where it would be said that even the flies buzzing around are hopped up on one drug or another. The steady stream of narcotics turned the dozens of villages out west into junkie dens, on top of the chaos caused by the Khan's best customer, the fiends. Such an existence is understandably intolerable to many, most importantly Papa Khan himself, who longs to leave behind a strong legacy. This is why Caesar sent a feumatardus, Karl, to act as his ambassador to the Khans under the guise of seeking great warriors, in exchange for promises of land, wealth, and revenge against the NCR to secure their alliance. Papa Khan's hatred of the NCR led him to agree to the alliance almost instantly, declaring that the Khans would march to assist Caesar when the time came. Karl has appeased Papa Khan's advisors with the promises of holding positions of power within the Legion. However, in reality, the Legion does not intend to keep any of the promises made, considering the Khans merely another tribe to conquer and assimilate into their ranks. Karl himself secretly despises the Great Khans, considering them to be unworthy of the Legion and subpar warriors at that, and he fully expects the Great Khans will have to be decimated first in order to bring them to heel. The Khans remained oblivious, knowing no alternative way to move forward. They are dying out, and every day brings their enemies closer to launching a strike against them. The dream of becoming Caesar's elite cohorts as a vehicle towards the destruction of the NCR proves too tempting, making the Khans entirely blind to the reality of what joining the Legion really entails. Hey, thank you for watching the history of Fallout. Special thanks to Nukipedia for all information you heard today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.